Okay, that's a good idea. Oh wait, I can hear. Wait a second, I can hear you.
Yes, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Swiss Gold Global Independent Business Owner Network Marketing Training number 129 on this beautiful, amazing new op day, not February, April. I don't know why I always want to say February, April 27th. Yeah, it's weird. Two kind of gloomy days we had Saturday and Sunday, and then all of a sudden today we have this beautiful sunshiny, perfect temperature feeling like, I mean, it just looks and feels like it's just going to be an amazing day. And why shouldn't it be? It's new op day, right? And for those of you who don't understand what the heck we're talking about, that happens to be the day that falls between Sunday and Tuesday. That old day, that old moan day that you used to, deal with every day to start off your week. We have recoined this wonderful day as New Opportunity Day because it's the first day of a new strong session. And how can you go wrong with New Op Day, right? Good morning, John. How you doing today on this glorious day?
As Paul said, it is a beautiful new op day. It's another phrase that we kind of try to eliminate too, and that's saying good morning to people, or it's what's worse than saying it's Monday morning. I mean, that's just so depressing sounding. So yes, we've recoined it to just happy new op day and try to get rid of the word morning and really think about, and this might sound funny, but really start thinking about all the language that we use and even just the way we greet people. And it's no wonder, what do they say, Paul, that 80% of what you encounter on a daily basis is negative? I'd venture
88, I think.
88%. Okay, that sounds more right. And it's not just people's negative attitudes. If you really listen to the way people talk to each other and without intention of doing so, how negative most conversations sound. Like, hello, you're using the word with the word hell and low in it to greet somebody. This is totally off topic of where we're going to go today. It's just something that Paul and I are aware of. Hey, you got a major feedback happening.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you can hear me through the speakerphone. Yeah. Hey, Paul, my idea is why don't you take me off the speakerphone, and whenever I'm talking, maybe just put the phone up to your ear.
How'd that go?
Much better. I'm just going to explain to people what's going on here. We're having a technical glitch with Hangouts. I know that you people can hear me, but for whatever reason, Paul can't hear me, so he's got his speakerphone on. That is what was causing that feedback. But I think we seem to got a handle on it now. It looks like Paul will just have to watch for my mouth moving and then pick the phone up and put it to his head so we can communicate on this Hangout today. But with that being said, why don't we just jump right into it? I'm going to toss it back over to you, Paul, kind of kick us off and bring us into some of the final stages here of the Own Your Life Plan book that we finally made it through after what, just 6 months? Or making it?
Well, we haven't made it through yet. There's still, there's still at least 20 pages to go.
Oh, wow. Well, we're getting close. That's my point. 6 months later, we're getting close.
Yeah, we're up to chapter 15, which is the important phrases and handling objections in, of course, the Network Marketing Training Manual, how to build a network marketing organization the right way so that you're not out there busting your tail for the wrong reasons. The thing is about network marketing is you're never out there busting your tail anyway, but if you are, you're doing it wrong. That's the bottom line. If you're out there busting your tail and you ain't getting anywhere, guess what? You're doing it wrong. That's the problem. So this is how to do it the right way. So you don't have to bust your tail and you start seeing real, actual success and growth in your organization. Now, of course, we've talked been through some of these chapters before where, this is something that builds momentum. This is something that you need to be a strong-minded and strong-willed person that you're going to stick with it because, unless you're one of the rare few who just, clicks and you get it and it takes off right away, for most people, this is a building process. It's a step-by-step building process that you're going to have to, take and consider the first 6 months really of just training and learning and growing and seeing very, very small incremental growth in your organization until all of a sudden one day, somewhere down the road, all of a sudden it all sort of comes together for you and it starts taking off. So that's, and that's everything. I mean, I can compare this to our real estate business. We've been, seeing incremental progress over the first 4 years of John and I starting this real estate business together. And, it's incremental small growth that we've seen, month after month and year after year, some highs, a few lows, things like that. It goes up and down a little bit, but if you look at the graph, it continually just sort of steadily climbs and climbs and climbs. And then all of a sudden now here we are where it's doing this, the little ups and downs, whatever, peak, low, and it gets here and all of a sudden it goes, takes off. And that's exactly how a network marketing organization does the same thing. Johnny boy, I know you got a comment to that.
Of course I've got a comment for that. I've got a comment for just about everything. Phone's back to your head, so I know you can hear me. Exactly. It's about building it up, and it's going to start kind of slow. But then once you've got a handle on it, once you've completed network marketing school, as we've talked about in all the, throughout various other chapters about how when you're in network marketing for the first time, you imagine yourself as if you're going back to school. Most people go to school, 4 years for a degree? Well, we don't want to wait 4 years to start earning money. So we can earn right from the get-go. But our earnings, they're going to be slow. It's going to be a slow growth for most people that are new to this concept, new to this type of opportunity. But then it's like a snowball effect. You know what happens when a snowball goes down the hill? It gets bigger and bigger, and all of a sudden it becomes an avalanche. And that's kind of what happens in network marketing. And as Paul was speaking about, it's kind of what's happening in our real estate business that we've spent, we're going on year 4 at this point, that Paul and I have, we're really just starting year 4. Because I really consider, Paul, when you and I started the business to be, around this time of 2012. So 12, 13, all of 14. By the end of this year, it's a year. And now we're finally really seeing, wow, we're actually not having to work as hard because we're putting together systems. And now we're learning to work much smarter. Same kind of concept applies here to network marketing and what we're doing with Swiss Gold Global.
Cool. All right, so let's jump into these important chapter 15, important phrases and handling objections. I got to review this first part that we talked about last new update because it's just so cool. Don is really actually very brilliant, but he talks about here with the non-sales type people, which is going to be probably 98% of the people you talk to. Even if they are salespeople, they're probably not real, true salespeople doing it the right way either. So, but anyway, he talks about non-sales type people and, their perception of what selling is. And, basically it's, their bottom line thought process always boils down to, having to talk to strangers and convincing them to buy something that they probably don't either want or need. And that's most people's perception of selling, so the whole idea that, presenting this to somebody obviously gives an impression of having to sell. And so people have a lot of problems with the whole thing, getting over it. And one of the things that he talks about here that's not really directly related to selling, but it's sort of a backdoor roundabout way of squashing the whole idea of selling. And he talks about how, when you're in a conversation with somebody, you've brought this up and you can see they're a little squirmish about it. And you go, hey, look, I can see you have doubts about getting involved. I want you to understand that I will be training you, and that if I didn't think you could do it, right now we'd be talking about something else. So I mean, you're giving that person the belief all of a sudden that, oh wow, this guy believes in me that I can do it. And you're building up their self-esteem. I mean, just like that. And the selling thing starts to fade out of their head. And then as maybe the conversation goes on, or maybe following that up, you might ask them, you might just follow up that statement directly with, why would I want to talk to somebody about getting involved in my business if I didn't think they could do it? So that's a real powerful, just two phrases right there that I think are just awesome, because it really just kind of squashes the whole, I mean, everything that somebody has an objection about what you're presenting to them, that just pretty much just squashes it all. It's just like, hey, look, I wouldn't be here talking to you about this if I didn't believe in you, if I didn't think you could do it. I mean, why would I be wasting my time talking to you or anybody about, doing what I'm doing if I didn't think they could do it? I mean, it doesn't really make any sense, does it? So, I mean, obviously, I think you're a top candidate for this. So I think that's just really cool.
Absolutely. That you said it all right there. I really have nothing to add other than that complimenting someone in that way is a great way to move them towards making the decision to say yes to what you're offering. It's, you telling them that you believe in them and that you wouldn't even be bringing it up to them if you didn't believe that they could be successful in the first place. And just a quick little note, this is something I don't know that we've talked about for a while on the Hangouts. There's a quick little 1-minute script that, was introduced to Paul and I when we first started out in Swiss Gold Global from our mentor and on a Super Saturday training that we did, which was a simple script, a 1-minute phone conversation that you could have with somebody. And this is a good way if you're starting out, you want to start getting comfortable and get out of your comfort zone, this little 1-minute script. I'm not going to go into the script, but one of the key pieces of the script is that you're complimenting them. Oh, hey, how you doing? Hey, I only got a minute to talk. I thought of you because you're smart, hardworking, and I'm involved with something that I really think you'd be good at. And I would love to send you a link to this website. If I send this link to you, would you check it out? Great. That's the basic conversation there. We can get into that further in a future Hangout, and I am rushing through it, Paul, because I know you got more stuff. But the whole key thing that makes that phone call work is the fact that you reached out to them. You're going to give them a genuine compliment about 2 to 3 reasons why you do think they would be good at this business. And that's really the key element, because when somebody hears a compliment and it's something that comes from the heart or is a sincere compliment from the person giving it to them, it sparks their interest. So, he thinks I'd be good at this. He thinks I'm great. He thinks I'm smart, motivated, yada, yada. What is this opportunity that I'm going to be so good at? Gets the people thinking. So just wanted to really throw in my 2 cents, which is Paul said it all right there anyway. So I'm just basically reiterating what you said.
Well, yeah, like you said, the complimenting thing, building somebody's self-esteem right away. Obviously you want to build people up. You don't want to bash them down. So when you give somebody a compliment, you build their self-esteem, you get them feeling good. That just opens them up to being more receptive to whatever it is you have to say following that. All right, so getting into some of these objections. The first big number one, as I started out this whole thing talking about here, is always going to be, do I have to sell? What do I got to sell? I can't sell. I'm not a salesman. And, our answer to that is always, it's always just a flat out no. You don't have to sell. Period. Bottom line, no. When network marketing, you're building an organization, and through building an organization, the products and service, your products or service, whatever, moves through the process of you building this business in your organization. And all you're going to be doing is sharing with other people what it is that you're doing. I mean, and this is something that I threw in, when you get together with other people, and whether it's, at a kid's soccer game, at a barbecue, at the church, at over at the bar over a beer, I don't care where, in your front yard, over the fence with the neighbor. What do you talk about? You talk about what you're doing, right? So why is this so hard? If this is what you're doing, just talk about it. That's all there is to it. So, the whole idea of just sharing with your friends what you are doing is how you build your organization. It's all just the little nuances of just like what we talked about with, a little compliment, build self-esteem, open them up to the idea of them wanting to listen to what you have to say, and making the presentation to them in a way that is just like, impossible almost for them to say no. One of the things Don talks about in here is the, looking at, the presentation of selling, say, crystal or cookware or fire alarms. You've seen somebody sell somebody something. That's the general impression that, like I said, 95% of people have as to what selling is, and which is, like I mentioned, calling on strangers, trying to talk them into buying something that they probably neither want or need. You never have to do that in network marketing, because first, you're dealing with people that you know. Most of the time, you're dealing with people that you know already, so you don't have to call on strangers. And second, you should be handling products or offering services that they do need and want. So it's pretty simple. You're not selling, and you actually have something that people need or want. So it's just a matter of sharing, what it is that you're doing.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things that we stress from the beginning when we're talking to people about this, is that it's not about selling. It really, it is not really about selling, though that's kind of, in a way, I think, for those of you who are already on this training call, I feel like I'm being a little misleading by saying it's not about selling, because everything in life is sales. How you get your children to listen to you, to go to bed at night, that's a sale. How you get your spouse to say yes when you propose to her, that's a sale. When you're talking to your credit card company and you're trying to negotiate them to give you an increased credit limit or a lower interest rate, that's a sale. So we're always in sales. Let's not kid ourselves. But the way we present this business and the way we run this business is that we're not promoting it as a sales business, because it's really more about teaching and training, talking and sharing. You're sharing the opportunity. You're sharing the story of Swiss Gold Global. You're not out there trying to sell it to a whole bunch of people. And that's really the point of this whole book, is to show you a system of selling without having to be a salesperson. We're in the business of sharing the story of Swiss Gold Global and teaching and training people about what it means and what it takes to run a network marketing organization. So I think that that's another great point, a way to overcome that objection, is people say, hey, I'm really not good at selling. Do I have to sell anything? I'm not a sales guy. I says, great. In fact, because you're not a sales guy, you'll probably do better at this business than someone who does come from sales. And then you can refer back to, I believe, Napkin Presentation number 2, right?
Yep.
Is about the salesperson syndrome. It's about, we're not looking to sell our product to 130 people. We're looking to share our story and teach and train and work with and share the concept and share the story with just 5 people. So again, this chapter is great because it's going to bring up the stuff that you will hear, and you will hear get objections. But the book has already given us really all the ammunition we need to overcome those objections throughout the napkin presentations. That's why it took us so long to get through the book. And Paul said we still got 20 pages left. So
yeah, exactly.
It'll take us probably another 3 weeks to finish the book, and we'll start over, and then we'll be back on it for another 6 months, because it's so critically important to understand this stuff.
Yeah, because we just went through, we just kind of doubled back over what we did last week, and we got one question in today. But I do want to squeeze this one, even though we are pretty much out of time, because this is a big one as well, too. And oftentimes you're going to get the question, oh, this is a pyramid scheme? Isn't this a pyramid? You know, all that kind of thing. And why do people, first of all, why do people even ask that question? Well, when you get this objection, in most cases, Don says, I believe that it is due to the fear of failure. And the person that you're dealing with is afraid to try your program And by asking if it's a pyramid, he thinks he's just going to get you off his back, because most distributors, most people in network marketing don't know how to respond to this question. And basically the answer that you want to use, and you can use variations of this. There's a lot of things you can actually use to squash this question. Is, of course, no. The major difference between network marketing and pyramids is that pyramids, number one, are illegal. Network marketing has been around for over 75 years. And if network marketing was illegal, it would have been shut down long ago. So that's just a basic simple right there. I got to throw this in because I was introduced to another network marketing program called Legal Shield. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard about it. It used to be called Prepaid Legal. Now it's changed its name to Legal Shield. And it's basically a network of attorneys who, offer services, at a base level where you make a monthly payment, a very low monthly payment, and you have access to attorneys 24/7, 365 days a year to, for advice and things like that. So if attorneys are involved in a network marketing operation, don't you think that there's not a pyramid scheme and they would figure this out and shut it down by now? So I like using that one. But John, I'm going to let you jump in on that and close us out of here today.
Well, I just want to say another way to overcome the objection of, well, isn't that just a pyramid scheme? Usually when you get that objection is right at the beginning when you mention that it's a network marketing business and people don't understand it. One of the things that I say is like, you know what, that's a great question. And you know that 98% of the people out there don't understand network marketing. And then almost 90% of the people that are in network marketing don't understand network marketing. And, that's a good question. Is it a pyramid scheme? And the answer is no. You've got this information that Paul likes to use about it's been around for 75 years. Don't you think if it was in a legitimate way of doing business, this model would have been shut down already? Not only is that a good one to use, but it just says, what makes a pyramid scheme is that there is no products or services that are being distributed through the organization. It's just money that gets funneled up to the top. No, actually, it's not a pyramid scheme because we're actually distributing goods and services. And then that kind of gives you an entrance, maybe if it's the appropriate moment to even talk about what the goods and services are at that point. But no, I overcome the objection of, well, is this a pyramid scheme? I say, that's funny you asked that. It's a good question. The answer is no, because pyramid schemes are illegal. And this is a legitimate way of marketing a business. And because we actually have products and services that we're sharing and moving through our organization, therefore it's not a pyramid scheme. So if Paul doesn't want to add anything else, I'm going to go ahead and just kind of close us out of here because we're 3 minutes over with the prayer that goes, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth through the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I may desire." So happy New Op Day. We'll see you back here Wednesday for, what do we do Wednesdays again, Paul? Refresh us. Oh, we go through the website. Swiss Gold Global Wednesdays. So we'll see you back here for that.
All right. Bye, everybody.